Yes, guys, what I was trying to tell you in the morning is in Java, whatever we have done on a very superficial method. So let us get inside little bit deeper, okay, little bit deeper, wherein we have to understand various types of instance variables, right? If you have forgotten, just go back and see the previous videos wherein I have explicitly explained about instance variables. Now, what are instance variable? Instance variables are the properties of that particular uh, class, isn't it? Let's say, for example, I have a class lamp. What happened? I have a class lamp. I have a class lamp. This class lamp has a property of a boolean type, which is on, whether it is on or whether it is off. We would like just wanted to check it. So here I have made one instance variable, that is on. Now is on can have four different types of access. That is today's topic, access specifier. That means to this particular variable is on, or to this particular method turn on, what kind of access can we give it to the users? What kind of access can I give it to the other classes which are there in this particular code? Isn't it? A application will have multiple classes, isn't it? So all the classes does not talk to each other. Now who can talk, who can access, who cannot access, who can access what part of the code is important here. So this is called as access specifier. Now I have this access specifier, access modifier in my PPT. Now you can see this. There are four types of different access specifier. One is private, one is default, another is protected and public. Now let us go to the other side of the table, which says that I can write code in three different types. I mean four different types, not three different types, four different types. I can write the code in a single class. That means inside the class. Single class, it's just a single class. Now I can have a package. Now you may say, what is package? We'll do that later on. Package is nothing but a folder wherein I have multiple classes. Right? Wherein I have multiple classes. Multiple classes को multiple class files है. Multiple files are there inside the package. Now one of the method writing code can be, I can write a single class, only one class, and I can create a folder. I can create a folder F. Your folder Vitra, I can have multiple classes. Is it? I can have multiple classes. Now another method of writing is, I can have a class. I can have a class in a particular package, in a particular folder. Evda class leheko cha, I have written a class. Now that class is being inherited by another class. Now I am talking about this subclass. This is a subclass. Now what I am talking about here is outside the package but within the subclass. Outside package but within the subclass. Alright. And the next part what I am talking about is outside the package, but outside package in the sense it is not in the subclass also. They are talking in a different folders. Your different folders where two classes are trying to talk. Your access costo. Now you see this. Now let us see first one. Let's see public one. First is a public one. Who can get the access? If I write a access specifier public in front of any instance variable or instance methods. If I write public, what happens? If it is within the class, if it is inside the class, everyone can access. If it is inside the package, inside the folder, everyone can access. Outside the package, but then class, subclass, it can access. Other than that, it can access. Matlab, if I write public, all the fellows, whatever way you are writing the code, everyone can access the public. Now look at the alternate way of writing it. If you want to hide it, data hiding, encapsulation and hiding, if you want to do it, then I will have to mention private. Now somewhere if I have mentioned private, if I have mentioned somewhere private, then if it is within the class, if it is within the same class, मतलब मेरो आफ्नै हो, even if it is a private, I can access it. Otherwise, nowhere in the class I can access. No, I cannot access it. Alright. Now, little bit of confusion here with default and protected. You just remember that default means you don't write anything. Default means you don't write anything. It's a private, but sometimes we call it as package. Because, why we call it as package? Because every folder bitra, if it is within the same folder, I told you about the package inside the package. If it is within the same folder and you have not written anything, it will treat it as a default and access will be granted. But for all the other packages, other folders ko lagi chai access will not be granted. Will not be granted. Alright. Now if I have to write a protected, that means if I want to protect, why do I have to protect? I'll have to protect from the outside. Just remember that I will just have to protect it from the outsider, because this is inside, this is inside, after their own people, so they can access it. But the outside package, but it is a subclass. If it is a subclass, means it is inherited. This kind of inheritance is being done. So if it is inherited, that means its own person, its own class. So there also you will have your access. So all these three can have access, others cannot have access. So if I want to protect, where do I want to protect? I want to protect it within the outside of the package. If it is inside the package, I cannot protect it. Protect garnu pardaina. It is not required, isn't it? If it is outside the package but subclass, somehow it is inherited, that means I am in one family, isn't it? And my sister is in another family. She can access, no? She can access. Even my brother-in-law can access my thing. Why? Because they belong to the same subclass, because they inherit me here. That's why protected gore bhani pani they can be accessed. If I want to hide something from my sister, either I'll have to write private or I'll have to write default. I don't have to write anything. Default bhaneko don't have to write anything. So I hope you have understood this. Now go through this. There is a little bit of explanation in detail. Whatever I talked about, the same thing I have written it here. You can go through this. It's general, it's English ma leheko cha. You can understand it. And there is a small code here. Now look at the code. Private employee salary, public employee name. Right? Belongs to a class access modifier demo. Alright. Now this class access modifier demo has a function, a method called calculate salary. Right? Now what happens in this part? What happens? In this part, what happens? Print emp name will definitely print it because it is within the same class. But here I am having a different class. Look at this. Here I am having a different class. You have a class bio. This is another class. Now here, tinta class. Here I have one more class, and test access modifier is another class. Public test access modifier is another class. Test access modifier is another class, isn't it? Right? Now you can see this. Now when you see this, what can be accessed and what cannot be accessed, isn't it? All this private will not be accessed herein. However, the public I have written, private calculate salary I have written, this calculate salary also will not be accessed. Calculate salary also will not be accessed. Similarly, print EMP name you have written, which is a public one. So this print EMP name can be, this print EMP name Bobby can be accessed. Alright, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the access specifier, which is used in a programming concept, programming constructs. We'll have to use this and write codes in such a way that you want to hide with someone, you want to give access to someone, you want to hide with someone. So in that case, data hiding and encapsulation is also preserved. The property of OOPS, data hiding and encapsulation, is also preserved. Okay, now you go through this. If you have any query, you can write down in this YouTube comment, or you can write down in the WhatsApp messages also. Alright, we'll do this, and next class, if class is there, then we will have a small demo of the same thing I will do it in GDB debugger. Okay, alright, bye.